everybody, and welcome back to Harp 101. Today is our 7th lesson, and I'm going to be teaching you how to play patterns that require more than 4 fingers by either crossing under with your 4th finger or over with your thumb. This technique is particularly helpful when we're playing scales on the harp. So let's go ahead and get started. To begin with, start by placing all 4 fingers on the strings, starting at middle C. Then play the C, D, and E. But before playing the F, cross under your thumb with your 4th finger and place it on the G. So you can see now that my hand is in a crossed under position. My thumb is on the F, but my 4th finger is on the G above that. In order to do this, it's important that you keep your thumb nice and high and your other fingers tucked into the palm, or else they're going to get in the way of your 4th finger crossing under. Now you can go ahead and play the F with your thumb. But before playing the G with your 4th finger, replace fingers 3, 2, and 1 on the next strings. This will allow you to be prepared to continue this pattern all the way up the harp, like this. When crossing over with your thumb, similar principles apply. And again, this is better just illustrated on the harp. So go ahead and place your hand on the strings with your thumb on the C, an octave above middle C this time. Then play your thumb, 2nd finger, and 3rd finger. But before playing that G with your 4th finger, cross your thumb over so that it's on the F below that G. Then play the G with your 4th finger and replace your next 3 fingers on the strings before playing your thumb again. This will allow you to continue this pattern down the harp. Thing to remember as you're playing scales by either crossing under with your 4th finger or over with your thumb is that your elbow is what leads your hand up the harp. So as you go higher up the strings, your elbow gets higher, and as you go lower down the strings, your elbow gets lower. This facilitates your wrist being in the right position. Because if you'll recall from an earlier lesson, we either want to have our wrist nice and flat or slightly curved in like this, but we never want to have it arched outwards because this can cause carpal tunnel syndrome later in life. So make sure as you're playing those scales that your elbow is what leads your hand up the harp and keeps all the rest of your hand in the proper position. Let me illustrate what this looks like from the other side of the harp so that you can actually see my elbow when I'm playing. I want to mention as you're practicing these scales on the harp by crossing under with your 4th finger and over with your thumb is that you don't want motion to come from your wrist. You don't want to have a lot of rotation back and forth, and you also don't want your wrist to be going in and out. This is for 2 reasons. One, because when we use our wrist for motion instead of our fingers, this causes a lot of fatigue in our hands, and 2, because it will actually slow you down when you're playing. Motion from our wrist takes a lot more time than motion from your fingers. So if you can use your fingers primarily for the motion and then use your elbow to facilitate your hand, this will allow you to play more quickly when you're playing scales. Watch again as I play these on the harp and see how my wrist stays nice and steady as I go up and down the harp. So there you have it. Now you know the basics for crossing under with your 4th finger and over with your thumb when playing scales on the harp. Remember to keep your thumb nice and high and your other 2 fingers tucked out of the way of your hand while your 4th finger and your thumb are crossing, which will allow you to have enough room to have that motion that you need. And use your elbow to facilitate your arm moving up and down the harp while keeping your wrist nice and steady. This skill takes a little while to get into your fingers, but once you have it, it will be a very useful tool. So have fun while you're practicing, and I'll see you next time. Hi everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like it and subscribe to my channel. Also, comment below about anything you'd like to learn about the harp, and maybe your topic will be the subject of my next video. Until then, happy harp adventures.